Welcome to episode 4 of Around the Major League Soccer podcast with Sam and Chris right here on Africa Sports Network. Yes, MLS Week 3 done and dusted with shocking result across match venues. A total number of 38 goals was scored in this Week 3 and 5 away wins was recorded. And to me, the most shocking result was FC Cincinnati winning at Orlando City Football Club. Chris, welcome to another great episode. What you got to tell us?
Amazing week of action. The MLS, the games are just beginning to let you understand that the MLS is getting better and better by the season. It's getting more competitive, getting more beautiful. There's more flair. There's more. It's just beautiful to watch the MLS games right now. Like, amazing week. Shocking defeats, shocking wins, and it's just been amazing to watch the games this weekend.
Amazing when you look at all the games played all over in week 3. Which game, will you say, stood out for you? But for me, I think LAFC winning Inter Miami. I think it was expected because I told you on the show on last episode that LAFC will beat Inter Miami. But I said Orlando will win FC Cincinnati, but my bad, FC Cincinnati. They went to Orlando City Football Club, pulled a surprise and picked 3 points away from home. And Chicago Fire went to DC United and also pulled 3 points with a clean sheet. And Columbus Crew didn't surprise me. Lucas Zelarayan scoring back to back for Columbus Crew with another beautiful, well-taken goal from Lucas Zelarayan as Columbus Crew also picked 3 points. Seattle Sanders coming from back to beat LA Galaxy. Douglas Costa getting his first MLS goal. And what a great taste it will leave on his mouth.
Beautiful game. Well, my 2 great games were the New England versus Real Salt Lake. Real Salt Lake defeated New England by 3-2. Also coming from behind, Josie Altidore scoring his first goal for his new team, New England Revolution. Amazing game it was, even if the conditions of the snow was really terrible. But Real Salt Lake was able to steal that massive away 3 points, which was massive. And as you said about Diego Douglas Costa scoring for his first goal for LA Galaxy. Beautiful game as well. There was a lot of beautiful games all around. Dynamo beating Vancouver Whitecaps 2-1, and Quintero scoring 2 goals.
Beautiful goal that will be in contention for goal of the week. Yes, Toyo Quintero, he earned that spot in the MLS.com team of the week. But LAFC, African players showed up in this week 3 because LAFC goal, the 2 goals came from Kwado Apoko, a Ghanaian, and also from a Libyan that transferred from New York City Football Club.
He scored the second
Ismaila, goal. Ismaila Schroeder, Tajori Schroeder. Yes. So 2 African players, doing it big for their club this week 3. But Dynamo getting a home win, was also a beautiful game for the home team, giving their fans something to cheer about. But Philadelphia beating San Jose, it was expected. I told you that Philadelphia would beat San Jose in the last episode. The only game I didn't get right was FC Cincinnati. Real Salt Lake beating New England Revolution away from home. That means for Dynamo to get a point off Real Salt Lake was a great performance. Look at Real Salt Lake. They've won back-to-back games right now.
Yeah. Real Salt Lake is a good team. They're showing they're good contenders for this for the season. They have been consistent the last 3 games. They have been solid side. I remember I told you against. I said Cincinnati was going to beat Orlando City. Remember when I told you the Florida teams have a problem, even with their striker Pato tried. He came close, but he wasn't good enough to win the victory for Orlando. But I told you the Florida teams always struggle. So I wasn't surprised for Cincinnati beating Orlando City. And I'm excited also because that was their first ever MLS win. They came in last season as the first team in the MLS, and they didn't win any games. But first game now, they're winning in 2022 season. It's going to give them, going to be a morale booster for the team that, we're not just playing anymore. We can actually be contenders. So more things to come from the Cincinnati side.
Yeah, FC Dallas getting a 2-0 home win against Nashville. Nashville, they stumble in the West, man. Welcome to Western Conference, baby. They crossover from East to West, and now, they've tasted, that Western Conference bourbon, and they stumbled at the Toyota Stadium. Nashville went down 2-0. Paul Arriola, whom FC Dallas acquired from DC United, showed up on game day. And I mean, when your DP show up like that on game day, you are bound to get 3 points. And FC Dallas made home of their home advantage. Colorado Rapids and Sporting Kansas. How can Sporting KC go from beating Dynamo 1-0 to losing 2-0 at Colorado Rapids? And that means Dynamo could have gotten something from that game against Sporting Kansas in week 2 had the coach played this formation he played against Vancouver Whitecaps. Because Sporting Kansas, this season they are not fantastic. They're not. This should be their second loss in 3 games.
Yeah, but Colorado Rapids, Colorado Rapids has a very solid side. Colorado Rapids played. If you watch the game, you can see how solid Rapid was. Kansas, no, they're not fantastic, but you can't take anything away from the Colorado Rapids team. It was really, really, really solid. Even if ended at 2-0 for them. But you can see the way the Colorado Rapids dominated that game against the Sporting K.
The way they dominated, yes, but I mean, Colorado Rapids, they were a surprise top seed in the Western Conference last season. The way that run came, they have runs of good results, and boom, they finished top seed in the Western Conference, but they stumbled when it mattered most. Portland Timbers against Austin Football Club. I told you that Austin would lose against Portland. Yeah, not because they will play badly, but because Portland will have this edge over them. Portland is a veteran team. They were in the MLS Cup finals and they lost to New York City Football Club. And Providence Park is a difficult place to pick a point for the opposing team.
You're right.
I told you that. But Austin did play badly. Austin played. They play a very exciting soccer this time around. So that's why I have them to pick 3 points at the Q2 Stadium this week 4 on my Sam Speak. Yes,
the game.
Yes, my Sam Speak.
The game against Austin was. If you check it out, statistics, it shows that Austin was actually better than the Portland team. They had more possessions than twice the possession of Portland teamers. Just as you say, Portland team was more experienced, and the goal came from a set piece. I think Austin they need to watch out set pieces, and we know how set pieces are very dangerous in games, and that was how it ended. Apart from that, Austin played very, very good soccer. So if they can continue like this, I see Austin being they'll qualify for the playoffs.
They'll qualify for the playoffs. This is around the Major League Soccer podcast with Sam and Chris right here on Africa Sports Network. We're talking about all that went down in week 3 of MLS action. Yes, a total of 38 goals was scored in those matches. 5 away wins. LAFC winning at Inter Miami. 2 African players, Prado Opoko and Ismail Tajori showed that we are on score sheet for LAFC. Chicago Fire beat DC United 2-0 away from home. FC Cincinnati pulled a surprise 2-1 away win at Orlando City Football Club, and FC Minnesota beat Red Bulls of New York to, hand them their first defeat of the season at the Yankee Stadium or the Red Bull Arena. So, Chris, let's look at week 4. Let's look at week 4.
Week 4 is going to be interesting too, as the fixtures. We know it's going to start all over again the weekend. We have Cincinnati playing Inter Milan.
Inter Miami. Yeah, yes. Okay. Before we go to that week 4, let's go to our pretenders and contenders segment. Yes.
You want to start this stuff again?
Yes.
All right.
Let's hold on. Let me grab something real quick. Let's go to Pretenders versus. Okay, I'm gonna write it like this. Pretenders contenders. All right. So let's go to that segment right now. So we're gonna do like this. Are they pretenders or are they contenders? All right. So you know that in week 3 there were teams that are perfect yet to lose a game. So after week 3 matchups, some teams lost that statue. Like Nashville lost for the first time. Red Bulls also lost for the first time. And other teams are still perfect. DC United, LA Galaxy, and Toronto FC. They've been losing. They lost their 2 games right now. So Columbus Crew, still waxing strong, yet to lose a game. So let's go and look at the standing in both East and Western Conference after week 3. So then we'll play our pretenders and contenders segment of this Around the MLS podcast with Simon Cruz on Africa Sports Network. All right. In the Eastern Conference, surprisingly, Columbus Crew are top of the group. 7 points from 3 games. So that means they are yet to lose a game. 2 wins and a draw. Put them top of Eastern Conference. And Philly Union are also right behind them, yet to lose a game. Only 2 wins and a draw. Red Bulls of New York, even though they were beaten by Minnesota in week 3, they are third in the Eastern Conference, 6 points from 3 games. DC, even though they also were beaten at the weekend by Chicago Fire, they are fourth in the Eastern Conference. Do you think Chicago Fire are on the revival path? Looking at their result in recent games, they are 6th in the Eastern Conference, 5 points.
Well, they had a decent game against DC United, beating DC United and 2 goals to in their last game. Chicago Fire is a team that I think the last time they really had their super spark was when I think Diego Valari used to play. No, not Diego Valari. Sorry, the Polish striker. I can't remember his name right now. Valari played for Portland Timbers. He's a Polish striker. He used to play for the Chicago Fire. You remember his name? I can't remember his name now. Well, that's when Chicago Fire was really dangerous. But I think Chicago Fire is one of those teams that are just always there. They mostly play the spoilers kind of game. But when it comes to really compete in the playoffs, they're a wishy-washy team. So I don't really see them as dangerous team.
All right, let's go to week 4. I have Sam speak. I'll put the graphics up so you're going to see. And then we're going to play our pretenders and contenders. FC Cincinnati got a 2-1 away win at Orlando City Football Club. And they will be at home to play Inter Miami that was beaten 2-0 by LAFC in week 4. LAFC beat them in week 3. So this is week 4. Inter Miami on the road against FC Cincinnati. What will be your score line? On Sound Speak, I have it. I have both teams to. I have it a 2-2 draw.
Well, that might be right. I think I'll go with 2-2 draw because Inter Miami lost their game. Cincinnati beat Orlando. So just about it, Inter Miami have better, more experience there than Cincinnati. But Cincinnati has a will spirit. Cincinnati is playing at home. I give Cincinnati the win.
I mean, okay. Before we proceed, let's talk about Phil Neville outburst during his post-match conference after they were beaten by LAFC. He said his DP should play much better. I mean, talking about Higuain, that he should play much better. They expect much. Excuse me. They expect much more from Higuain. You know, I mean, that was kind of a terrible outburst and kind of indicting players with what he was saying. Did you watch that post match conference?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. He even compared the team players to the LAFC players. The LAFC stars are showing up and playing up to expectation, as against his own stars are not showing up and playing up to expectations. Well, if you want to look at it, if you want to follow the history of Higuain, Higuain has always been a player that have had issues like this, even when he played in Real Madrid. Higuain is a player that plays when he wants to play, not when the club wants him to play. And over the years, that's why he had issues in Madrid, even when he was being criticized of being overweight because he wasn't training as hard as the other teams. And I think that was the conflict they even had between him and Cristiano Ronaldo. If you notice, all through the time in Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo and Higuain had a lot of issues together. They were not really friends, even if they played together, because of some certain issues of taking things extra seriously. So, but back that aside, I don't think Phil Neville really is a good coach. That's the honest, because he has always struggled even before he came here. Right from when he coached the English female national side,
team.
That's the best. That's the best. That's the best he has gotten. Apart from that, he has always struggled when it comes to coaching. He's just an average coach, but can he bring the best? I don't think so. He even he seems to be a coach that lacks the inspiration to inspire players. Some coaches have that extra bite to inspire the players. So I don't think he has that spot. But notwithstanding, Inter Miami has something fundamentally wrong with that team. Like I said, they have the players. They don't seem to. Everybody just plays the way they want to play, not as a team, and that's why they keep on getting them bad results.
I think they've not really defined the identity of the kind of club they want to be, in terms of when you talk about teams like Portland Timbers now, you know how they play with the Chara brothers. When you talk about teams like New York City Football Club now, Tati Castellanos has formed a formidable attack with that team, with the Brazilians. When you talk about LA Galaxy right now, you have an idea of the kind of soccer philosophy they're playing. Yeah. But Inter Miami has not really defined themselves. Yes, this should be their third season in Major League Soccer. But I think the names behind that brand are not doing much more in using their brand to attract, the kind of quality. Yeah, they have quality players, but players that will suit the Major League Soccer. It's not about grabbing big names like Blaise Matuidi, Ryan Shawcross and Ryan Gibbs and all whatnot. But no, you got to understand how the game is being played here in the MLS. There's a way the game is being played here. That's why teams like Portland are successful in the league. That's why coaches like Bruce Arena are successful in the league. But when you bring a coach straight, yes, coaches have come from the English league and become a hit in the MLS, but Inter Miami, they've not really defined who they want to be or who they are. And for the fact that they are yet to do that, they will keep struggling, in the league. All right, let's go to the game between the Houston Dynamo and Colorado Rapids. On Sam Speak, you can see it up there. I have Houston to beat Colorado 2-1. Ask me the reason why, and I will explain to you. Houston Dynamo, defensive-wise, this season, they've been very, very, phenomenal. Look at 3 games gone in the season. They've conceded only how many goals? Just 2 goals. And against, quality opponent, you will say that Vancouver Whitecaps didn't really trouble them much. But when you look at a number of block shots Dynamo have in that game against Vancouver Whitecaps, but also in this season in general, you understand what I'm talking about. When you look at in their ball distribution, Dynamo are playing 85.3% in ball distribution, and they have a total of 1,500 passes, and they were successful in 1,300. That shows that this midfield trio that they played against Vancouver really work out for them. But defensive-wise, ask me how they're doing. 2 goals conceded, yes. 1 clean sheet, no penalty conceded. In tackles, they are doing 45.9% in success rate when it comes to tackles. And when it comes to block shot and, area duel, and stuff like that. Dynamo are doing pretty well in the defense, and that's why I think against Colorado they can nick it with the 2-1 home win, making it back-to-back.
Well, what you said is, Dynamo has the ability to beat Colorado Rapids, but you can't take away the fact that the Rapids are coming with 6 points with two games. They only lost their first game to LAFC 3-0 on the first day, and they surprisingly beat Atlanta United 3-0. Atlanta United is a very decent side, and now they have also not just beat Atlanta United, they have gone on to defeat Sporting Kansas by 2-0. So you can't take anything away from the Colorado Rapids team right now. They are gathering momentum, and when a team starts gathering momentum, it's difficult to crack down. So I just think Dynamo, no doubt Dynamo has a decent defense, but they need to sit down and approach that game tactically, because one-on-one, head-on-head record, Colorado Rapids have a better head-on-head to Dynamo. And games like this can be psychological. When you beat teams a lot, psychologically it's in your head that you can always beat them. So they need to have a way to break that yoke completely. And it's going to be a decent game, though, because this season, both teams have shown class in both games. Even if Dynamo just won one game, their last two games, they drew one, they lost one. They were pretty impressive. And with this new formation that he's playing now, the 4-3-2-1 formation he played the last game, hopefully that formation can work against the Colorado Rapids that normally plays a different kind of formation normally. So it's going to be fun to watch that game come Saturday.
It's going to be fun to watch that game between Houston Dynamo and Colorado Rapids come Saturday in the MLS Week 3. We're talking about Sam Speak right here. All right, New York City Football Club at home against Philadelphia Union. Remember, New York City Football Club, MLS champions, they beat Montreal 4-1. Philadelphia Union also won their game at the weekend, also yet to drop points, 7 points in the Eastern Conference, while New York City Football Club also powering strong. This will be one of the top clash in week 4. What do you guys say about this game?
Yeah, it's gonna be explosive because New York right now is playing some amazing, brilliant football, showing up as champions. The way they are playing. Philadelphia Union also has a very decent side. So it's gonna be a clash of the Titans among these two teams. It's gonna be, I think, one of the toughest games to watch in week 4.
Clash of the Titans. So New York City Football Club, are they contenders or pretenders?
Oh, they are champions. So a champion is a contender.
To retain their trophy. What about Philadelphia Union?
Philadelphia Union, that's what I'm saying. Don't take anything away from them. Philadelphia Union is a strong team.
They're a very strong team.
They beat San Jose 2-0. So they're a strong team too. We can't take anything away from them, and let's just see. I hope the best team wins, but I think New York City might have an edge over them. But Philadelphia Union take nothing away from them.
Right, the FC Dallas at home against Portland Timbers. FC Dallas, yes, and won their game 2-0 at home against they won their game 2-0. They picked 3 points at home. Portland Timbers also won their game against Austin Football Club. I mean, these are two teams that won their week 3, respective home games, which is expected. And they are now will be on the road against the other.
It's going to be interesting, though. It's going to be interesting because also the new signing, Alan Velasco of the FC Dallas, it's got an amazing goal.
Amazing goal.
So, hopefully, if he can
look at that goal. The way he started that movement.
And finished it.
And finished it. What an amazing goal. And volley it right, behind the goalkeeper.
That's it.
You see what that goal means to that young lad.
Yeah, it's Argentine, first goal in the MLS, so he played really well, apart from the beautiful goal he scored. So if he can reciprocate that kind of format against Portland Timbers. The truth about the thing is that Portland Timbers, the reason why Portland Timbers is playing the way they played, it's a team that have been together for years. That side has been together for like 4 or 5 seasons together. So they understand themselves. They're a strong unit, full of experience. So if you can break the experience part of it, they're beatable. But if you can't, because of how they synchronize and understand themselves, That's why Portland is a very dangerous team to play against because of that understanding they have. And the Shara brothers, you never know what they have in store to surprise you.
They're gonna hit you with something. Austin Football Club
Yeah.
back at the Q2 Stadium against Seattle Sounders. Seattle came from back to beat LA Galaxy in week 3. LA Galaxy star-studded with Douglas Costa grabbing his first MLS goal. You see what that goal means to him. And also Chicharito also on the score sheet for LA Galaxy. But Seattle found a way, to come back in that game and pick their first 3 points of the season. Austin went down 1-0 at the Providence Park. They scored 10 goals at the Q2 in this campaign. In their first 2 home games. Now they are back at home in front of their home fans. They are incredible, and the way the fans will get behind the team against Seattle will make Seattle uncomfortable at the Q2. This is a game I see Austin scoring another 3 goals behind an opponent. What do you think?
You think so? Against Seattle, 3 goals against Seattle?
Yes.
Well, I think Austin is going to be as I said, I rate Seattle Sounders and Portland in the same category. You see, what's this guy's name coming in to score? Morris is one of the players I hate so much.
The Morris.
But he has a way of scoring when it matters most. He was one of the guys that scored the goals in the Angels Galaxy. Just the way he removed LAFC from the MLS Cup 3 seasons ago. I'll never forget that game. I was in the stadium when I had my hand in my mouth when that happened. Anyways, Seattle is a team full of surprises, but not taking away from the brilliance of Austin FC this season. Austin FC season has been amazing. They've scored a total of 10 goals in 2 games, like you already said. It's going to be a beautiful game to watch. On that game, I can see maybe a draw. I foresee a draw in that game because Seattle Sounders, very experienced side. Even they are playing away, I know they're going to sit back and defend. And Seattle defense, even they have conceded a couple of goals this season, they seem to be decent in the back. And going front, they can catch you on the counter.
They can catch on the counter. We will see how that game will turn out. LA Galaxy at home against Orlando. I see LA Galaxy pumping 3 behind Orlando.
5 maybe.
Because the way Orlando is doing right now.
Orlando is not playing well, but
I mean, don't take anything away from Orlando. They might pull a surprise on LA Galaxy.
You're right.
On the game day, LA Galaxy might be very, very abysmal, on their own turf. It's possible.
I don't see that against.
I don't see that happening against this Galaxy team.
No. Galaxy team, as I wish we not like to say this, Galaxy's team is they're ready this season, man.
Right, that's Sam speak for week 4. So, Chris, what's the hot take?
Yeah, my hot take is the game against Dynamo Colorado. That's my hot take. It's gonna be very interesting, to watch. I want to see Dynamo actually defeat Colorado, if nothing else, break that jinx of Colorado always getting better than Dynamo. So that's my hot take for the week.
All right, that's Chris' hot take for the week right here on Around the MLS podcast with Sam and Chris on Africa Sports Network. Yes, on this note, we come to the end of today's edition of Around the Major League Soccer podcast. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Africa Sports Network. And also you can visit our website, africasportsnetwork.com. Africa with a K and sports with a Z, and enjoy all the wonderful content we have on that platform. So, Chris, the last one you got before we call it a quit.
Well, I want to say it's going to be an amazing game in week 4, but keep on watching African Sport Network, keep on subscribing, and also just drop a comment. Your comments can help us make us better. If you think we're not doing something right, or you think you want us to do something special that can make the show better for you or interesting, please don't fail to, drop a comment. 1 or 2 comments will not hurt. That would also encourage us to do better and bring you the best of the MLS like we are trying to do, and that's what we are doing. And we know this show is going to get better and better. So drop your comments, subscribe, share with your friends, your family, and everyone. And let's keep on giving you the best of MLS action live.
All right, let's look at let me drop this one, Raymond. Let's see some fans' awkward moment in front of camera. Enjoy that. Around the MLS, right here on Africa Sports Network. See ya. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Why run from camera? Now you make. 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 Why run from camera? Now you make.